Alright guys, so this is the Motormigo channel. We're here today doing some Cali Moto routes throughout the Northern Virginia area to the Potomac Valley. It's going to be a sweet ride right now. I'm going with my dad, and the rally is doing super awesome, and I'll give you guys some thoughts on how the ride's going.
Okay, so let's talk about the rally. After riding 1,000 miles, I can tell you this bike is uniquely positioned at the crossroads of dual sport and adventure riding, and I'll tell you why that's the case. When you think about dual sports, you think about MX motocross dirt bike frames that were off-road performance with adjustable front fork dampers, nice solid springs, super knobby tires, but they were dual sports because they were street legal. License plates, tail lights, headlights, turn signals, less knobby so that you weren't low siding on the curb with knobby tires. Those are what dual sports were, but we understand that dual sports weren't exactly the ultra endurance distance bikes that we like to ride on. As me, coming from an adventure rider background with riding the GS 1200 and KLR 650, those are bikes that you could do 1,000 miles in a day and you could still be having fun. With nice navigational upfront displays and nice large tanks to carry the distance between gas stations, adventure riding and dual sport riding have similarities, but they were distinctly different. Think dual sport off-road performance, adventure riding, distance, ultra endurance. So where does the rally fit? Well, I can tell you that the rally isn't the best dual sport for the track. The front forks on these bikes aren't adjustable, so you get what you get, real soft at the front fork. As far as the back goes, if you're a rider who's about 180 pounds, you're gonna definitely feel the compression limit of this back spring. So if you're buying this bike, have your back spring already on order. Now for a rider like me at 165, I can tell you that this bike is great for doing what's called ghosting the bike. When I ghost the bike, I'm basically being the weightless rider, and I'm not looking to do impact riding. I'm riding nice gravel roads, and if I need to go uphill, it's a gradual transition. Ghost the bike, I'm standing up on this thing, and I'm basically just being the weightless rider, and I'm not trying to impact anything. I'm just taking the gradual, nice lines that transition between elevation, and I don't try to keep things too aggressive. That doesn't mean this bike can't take you where you want to go. When you think about the 300cc single piston on this, it comes from the Rebel 300, which was a street bike single piston that is extremely reliable. So I'll tell you that you're getting a great hardy engine on this thing. And let's talk about the engine. 300 cc's of displacement, which when you think about dual sports, it's all the power you need when you're going off-road at the track. But when you look at the adventure riding community, this bike is something we haven't seen before. This is 300 cc's of displacement that is touring ready. As an adventure rider, I say I got a great navigational display, I got a 3.4 gallon tank that'll take me 200 plus miles, and that's really the range I'm looking for. This is a great adventure bike. Now, the seat and the ergonomics on it are amazing for the off-road riding, because standing on this, it's begging for you to stand on this bike. That's where you have the most control. As far as the seat goes, it's really not that comfortable, but if you get the right adventure riding pants, you could go anywhere with this thing and you can extend your ride. Look at the adventure package on the Rally. You can see that we have a nice center dash display that's going to give you your rev, your gear selection, how much fuel you have in the tank, how far you've gone, and really just the essential information that any adventure ride would like to have. Now, as far as this front bar, it's perfect for putting a RAM mount that you can put your phone with Cali Moto or Maps.me routes. So your navigation display is right in the periphery of where you want to go. So that makes the ride a whole lot safer. The Rally is a single piston fuel injected bike, means that the compression is going in a unilateral direction. If you're a rally rider, you're already familiar with at the 5,000K rev mark, it's gonna hear some vibration, and that's just part of the whole package. You got a single piston engine, that's what you should expect. As far as the exhaust goes on this bike, I actually like that it doesn't make that much noise, and I'm gonna turn the bike on so that we can hear exactly what it sounds like. So let's get started. Here we go. So it doesn't make that much noise, and that's great if you're going off-road and trails. It means that not a lot of people know you're riding, which could be a good thing for adventures. Take it to that 5,000 rev mark, and this is gonna be the whole vibration thing everybody is talking about. So at the 5,000K rev mark, we understand there's gonna be some resonance. That's okay, it's not a big deal, and don't have that dissuade you from this package. If you're a new rider and you're thinking about the Rally, I wanna let you guys know that it's the perfect ride to really develop your skills. You want something that's lightweight, something you can fall off of, and I've gotten a whole lot better with this bike. So I'm gonna take this thing off-road, you guys are gonna follow me, and let's get to this thing. Alright guys, so we're riding some dirt trails right now, keeping some front sight focus through the curve, and I'm riding the center line when I can so that I can practice my back tire kicking out. This is great for balance. Now, we're going to transition to some street work here, and again, this is the same engine from the Rebel 300, so the pickup is nice and smooth, and really, I'm not asking for more power out here. I'm having a leisurely ride, and I'm just getting after it, so I'm having a great time. It feels great, smooth, and I'm just just having a blast. Now the dual sport tires, it's not the kind of tires that you're taking on Dragon's Tooth, and it's not the kind of tires that's for ultra curved roads. So just keep that in mind. But if you keep it nice and easy, this bike will make you smile. It's just a fun time.
So, let's talk about braking on the Rally. This bike doesn't have that good of a brake. The front brake is so light that I honestly think that the rear brake foot peg has more stopping force. So what this bike forces you to do is it forces you to use both brakes as you should. Now conventionally, we're always taught 70% is the front brake force, 30% at the rear. That's not how this ride goes. You have to use both. For you GS riders, you guys know you already have the stopping force just in the front brake. So with the Rally, you're forced to do both because the brake calipers aren't that good. So we understand that one of the biggest features of this bike is what you can't see, which is the weight reduction. Guys, I learned so much by having a lighter bike. It was more forgiving and it brought me out my comfort zone. I'm able to trail and I'm really able to make some mistakes. And this bike invites you to test your skills. Overall, I love that I'm standing up tall. I think one thing that people don't talk about is that if you're standing up tall, you're giving a chance for your lower back to rest and the tension is going to the calves. Whereas when I'm seated, the calves end up relaxing and then the pressure is back at the lower back. Ultimately, having this kind of rider position readily available for you to choose will lead to you having more longevity off-road.
Okay guys, now we're gonna take the Rally on the street. We know that this is the same engine from the Honda Rebel 300, which was a street bike. Now, this CC is enough to get you up to speed around a top speed of, 75, 80, but it's not that instant power that you're gonna get from your normal adventure bike. So if you're going 50 miles per hour on this bike in 6th gear, because they geared 6th gear to be really extended throughout 45 all the way to 75, 80 miles per hour. But if you try to open throttle this thing, you're really not gonna go that fast. It's a small displacement bike, but it'll go fast enough to where you can, get to where you need to go, which is adventure riding. So let's talk about how much the Rally costs and what you guys absolutely need to make it off-road ready. You need bark busters, you need engine guard crash bars. I have mine coming in next week. Now, the plastic skid plate that comes with the Rally is serviceable, but if you're doing any real off-road riding, you need an aluminum skid plate. You're gonna be better off and you're gonna be happy you did. Now for navigation display, I have a nice ram mount at the front bar in front of me and I don't have to look at it. I know where I'm going. So it's $6,500 for the Rally ABS. Now the dealer has to uncrate it, so throw another $500 on that. Then do the dealer paperwork fee, another $200. Now we're at $7,200 on the amount on the lien. So with the extended vehicle warranty and the theft protection and the tire service package, it's probably another $1,000. So now we're at $8,200. With the bike at $8,200, now you're gonna have to pay the whole sales tax on the purchase. Go ahead and kick that up to be another, $800. So after sales tax, let's ballpark it at $9 grand. Now you're gonna ask for either buying it outright with your own cash or you're gonna ask to finance the bike. Let's just be really conservative here and let's say 10 grand. Being really conservative at around the 9,500, 10 grand mark, you have this bike out the store, ready to go with the right warranty, theft protection, and service package. Ultimately, what you guys got here is an awesome bike that, with a little bit of modification and a little bit of add-on, you have an incredible motorcycle to take you anywhere you want to go. I love this bike. It gives me the confidence and is a low impact bike because picking it up, 300 pounds, that's nothing, okay? If you're expecting this bike to be a motocross dirt bike, you're gonna be disappointed. If you're expecting this motorcycle to be a heavy, big ADV bike that is extremely luxurious and can take you across the continent, you're not gonna be happy. But if you're looking to go on a weekend off-road ride with some street work and you're looking to pop wheelies and learn how to turn this bike around, this is an incredible package, especially for the beginner riders, for the experienced folk out there. You guys know what it means. Having a big bike doesn't mean you're gonna have more fun. It just means that you're more confident that you can slug around the weight and make it happen. Now, the lighter it gets, the less work you have to do to pick the bike back up, and you know that you're gonna be zipping around and having fun. I remember the most fun I ever had was on a Honda Grom, so don't let the bike size intimidate you. Okay guys, so that was the Rally review. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the Motormigo channel, welcome. If you're here supporting, thank you guys. We're gonna be organizing an ADV Rally event in the Utah area. I want to extend out to you guys and everybody else on this awesome idea I have planned. So from Motorcycles Off-Road to Woodsman Adventures to Moto Beamer, I want this to be an open class rally event where we got adventure riders and we got our dual sport riders going after it. So if you guys are interested, let me know.
Epic. Good stuff.